Good evening, engineers, once again. I hope you guys can hear me, please.
We can hear you.
Okay, thank you. Um, I welcome you guys to this introduction or course preview for the Reinforced Concrete Design Mastery. So welcome to Chevdin Academy. So just to give a brief introduction to Chevdin Academy, if this is your first time uh, hearing about us or being among us here. So Chevdin Academy is a online learning platform. What we do is we teach civil engineering practical design. So we major on structural design, highway design, etc. So this course is about reinforced concrete design mastery. That is, we set up different levels and stages which you can learn reinforced concrete design, starting from the beginners level to the intermediate, or let me just say advanced level based on this course. So my name is Sherifdeen Okoyemi Adeyemi. So if you want to learn more about us, you can check our website, chefdinacademy.com. You can also check us on YouTube for free content from us. Our YouTube channel, you can just search Chefdin Academy on YouTube. You will land on our page, or you can use this link. I'm going to share this document to the group. So you can also look us up on Facebook with the name Chefdin Academy, and this is my personal LinkedIn profile. So in this section, I just want to give a brief explanation on the content of this course. I've already made a video on it, but I feel if we have a live section and then people are able to ask questions, then it will be much more better and clearer. So the reinforced concrete design is, we divide it into three packages based on the level of courses that we have on reinforced concrete on at Chevdin Academy. So we divide them based on levels so that it will be easy for us to pick our level and then to learn. So we divide these packages into three different packages: the basic package, the standard, and the advanced, just like the way we see it on our screen. So, and then for the basic package, this is highly recommended for students in their 200 level, 300 level that are just being introduced to civil engineering as a course. So you might want to have some basic understanding of the course of what civil engineering is all about. So that is why we recommend these three courses, which are quite interesting. So the first of them is Fundamentals of Structural Design. So if this is, like I mentioned, is highly recommended for guys in 200 level, 300 level. So we believe that in your 200 level, you will have been introduced to some level of basic structural analysis. But you might be finding it difficult to actually uh, translate it to what is physical, what you can see. So that is why this basic course will expose you to this. So like I mentioned, the courses involve fundamentals of structural design. Here you are going to be exposed to the importance and what civil engineers actually do, where we are going to bore down to structural engineering. Then we look at various components of buildings. We look at various construction materials. We talked more about concretes, and then we discuss a little bit about structural loadings, and also we discuss about how to design members, not to the detail, but just briefly looking at it. And then under this, we talk about construction practices that you should be familiar with. And then we also mention how to compare or how to relate design to construction. So how to translate the two, how to go about the two. So that is the first course under the basic package. Then the second one is the how to read and interpret structural drawings. So we find that this course is not really for students. Actually, the way the course is structured, it is for construction professionals that did not really have, uh, let me say, good or strong background in design, but they want to understand how to interpret and read structural drawings. So as a beginner, this course is also going to be very useful for you because it exposes you to some of the tools, some of the things structural engineers do, and some of the structural engineering language that we use in practice. So, and then the last one is AutoCAD for civil engineers. We all know that AutoCAD is a very interesting tool, especially for civil engineers. We use it majorly for drafting. So it is important because you need to understand it. If you want to do your general arrangement, your structural layout, before you carry out any form of design, we do what we call general arrangement, structural layout. So all these things can easily be done on AutoCAD because it's a drafting tool. So it is important for you to know this tool. It is important for you to know how to use it. But this course is not just teaching you how to use the AutoCAD, but it is trying to streamline it to what civil engineers do. So that's why we name it AutoCAD for civil engineers. So these three courses, as a basic student in 300 level, 200 level, or probably someone that is very new to design, maybe you have been doing construction for a few time and then you feel you want to start designing, or you want to familiarize yourself with design. So this basic package is very important and is very useful. Then the second package is the standard. The standard is just trying to show you how to actually do the design, but in this case, the design is in a manual form. So because we understand that before you start using any software, it is important for you to understand the core of the design. This is basically what you are going to learn in school. So in school, you'll be taught reinforced concrete design, steel design. So most of these designs, they are manual based. So they are manual design using the code. So, but the only issue there is you were being taught in school as a topic, is not being translated to in a practical sense. So that's just the problem. So there might be a little bit gap between the theory part that you were taught in school and then the actual practical. So this course try to merge the practical aspects with the theory. So it's like you are designing a actual project, but in this case, you are doing it manually. So under this, we have manual design to the VS Code, manual design to the Eurocode. So these two courses explain the rigorous or the back-end calculations of design softwares, how you can design your members. The course actually started from creation of structural layout from architectural design. That's where the course started from. And then when you generate your layout from the architectural design, you have all your structural components like slab, beam, column, staircase. So sorry, at the end of this presentation, we'll be able to ask questions, but I just want to make the presentation first before allowing us to ask questions. So the manual design is, like I mentioned, you start from the layout side, you generate your slab, you generate your beam, you understand how to generate them, their sizing, and all of that. So, and then you now proceed to the design. So you do the design manually, how it is being done in a normal classroom without any software aid. But because this is an online class, you might need to have little knowledge of AutoCAD so that you can be able to generate your layout, because what we use for layout is AutoCAD. So you need little knowledge of AutoCAD in order to function well in these two classes, manual design to the BS Code and Eurocode. So the first one is just design, basically using the BS Code and other supplementaries to the BS Code, because design cannot really be done by just one single recommendation. Most of the time, we supplement the code with some other text and other references. Let me put it like that. So you learn to the BS Code and to the Eurocode. Aside from that, in this course, it's not just that you learn the design, you also have access to design templates for all the structural members, slab, column, beam, foundation. In this case, it's part foundation. and also staircase. So you have you know how to do the design, and then you also have Excel sheets in case you want to use Excel sheet to quickly get one or two things right. So, and then the third part of the course is structural detailing for RC using columns. We understand that when you learn design, it's important for you to understand detailing as well. Even though from the basics or from inceptions, engineers don't really do detailing. But the way the economy is, the way we find ourselves, as an engineer, you're expected to do design. You're also expected to give detailing. So it is important for engineers to understand the use of detailing. So that's why we added this course, structural detailing of RC with AutoCAD. So it's detailing manually with AutoCAD. You detail slab, beam, column, foundation, shear wall, staircase. About 8 or 9 structural members is what you are going to detail. So if you want to see the breakdown of the content of each of these courses, you can check our website, chevinacademy.com. Each of these courses, you can find them there, and then you can look at the content one by one. So you see the full breakdown. So in this video, I'm just trying to explain what the course is about. And then the last part on the starter package is the rib and waffle slab design and detailing. Actually, this one, I didn't want to add it to the standard package initially, but I feel it should be like a bonus for us. So because the RC slab, the manual design to the BS and Eurocode, we design solid slab. But we understand that we have other types of slab. We have rib, waffle, flat. So because of that, I added this. So under this, you are going to learn the manual design of ribs and waffle slab. So you are going to learn the manual design of these two slab, and then as a bonus to it, you also learn how to design this slab on softwares like Freelance Structures, and then you learn how to do the detailing. So ribs and waffle slab, we have different forms in which ribs and waffle slab can come. So all these things I explained thoroughly in the course, and also some construction tips that you need to know during construction, which might not be guided in design, but is important. As either you're a supervising engineer, you're a site engineer, you are working with or weave or waffle slab, it's important for you to know this. So that is the standard package. So it's just like someone that have a good background in design, but you want to actually learn the core design. You want to know how it is being done from the first principle. So that is what the standard package is for. Then the advanced package is, we understand that you know the basic here. You actually have basic knowledge on design manually, and then you have been someone that have been actively involved in construction activity and all of that. But you want to now scale up and become a designer. So that's where the advanced package come into play. So the first course there is the main course, which is the structural design for freelancers. So this course, what we do there is we pick a project and then we do it from A to Z, from scratch. So we explain everything, all the processes engineers go through before they can be able to produce a good and sound structural drawings. So the software we use for that course was Total Structures. So we do structural layout, we do the modeling, we explain different loading scenarios and all of that. Then we do the detailing also. We explain the documentation part of it. We explain how to edit your detail, how to make it more better and all of that. And then we explain what we call approval. So whenever you produce a structural drawings, it has to be approved before it can be constructed. So we explain some of the documents you need and some other vital information. So that is structural design for freelancers. If you are someone that is interested in starting your own firm, or you want to take up a job in intermediate or mid-levels design engineer, the course is very perfect for you for reinforced concrete. Then in addition to this, we have flat slab design and detailing. So we explain raft slab design. Raft slab is a shallow type of foundation that is common where the soil is not really good. And then we also have pile foundation and detailing, which we explain also the design, different types, different forms, everything is being explained, and also the detailing. And then we have the flat slab design and detailing, which is another type of slab. So This Flash Lab contain manual design and software, both manual design and softwares. And then as a bonus to this package, we added the wind load analysis. So wind load is important when you are dealing with mid-rise to high-rise building. In some low-rise building, wind load can be important depending on the location. So all this, we explain how to manually analyze your wind load. This is done using BS 6399 part 2 for wind load analysis. So it's a manual something. We also have Excel sheets for this wind load as well. So these are the packages or divisions and levels of courses you can take. So depending on your level, your exposure condition, and what you want to learn, so you can pick either of these packages. You can pick either of these packages and then you start learning. So to mention, the class is, like I mentioned, is online. So once you make your registration, we share all the content to you immediately. So that is the reason why for this class we don't accept part payment, because once you make your payment, we share everything to you at once. So we don't allow for part payment in case you want to ask that. And then once you make your registration, the cost will be shared to your mail. And the reason why we are using email is because email is safer. You hardly lose it, because even if you lost your phone or anything happened, once you know your Gmail account, you can always have access to the course. So, and then another thing, advantage is sometimes we might need to make updates on some of these courses, because knowledge is expanding every day. We learn every day. So we might need to add something to the course. So you get all those additional tips free of charge without any extra charges. So these are basically the packages. So now to the pricing. You can see the pricing is displayed. So we are offering up to 30% discount on each of this package. So if you take the course now, instead of paying the amount we crossed, we are going to pay the amount we didn't cross. So for the basic package, instead of 30K in Naira, you are going to just get this course for 20K in Naira. For the standard package, instead of 60K in Naira, you are only just going to get it 40K in Naira. The same thing applies to the advanced. So if you are interested in getting all this package at once, so like I mentioned, you can get all the package at once. So instead of paying around 150K, so you are only going to pay 100K. So it's like getting it at a very cheaper rate and also getting huge knowledge and huge experience. So, and then this does not end here. If you are, for those that have taken one or two courses from us, you understand that we give room for students to ask questions, to share us their challenges, especially during the design phase when they are going through the course, and also after. So we are open to that. And basically for now, we do not really charge for that. So it's the mentorship is like free. So let me just put it like that. So these are some of the benefits you get from the course. So I think I've mentioned everything. So I will open the floor now for questions, in case if you have questions regarding everything I've explained, or maybe some parts that you want to ask that I didn't explain. So what we are going to do is very simple. So if you have questions, you just unmute your mic and then you ask your question. But when you see that someone else is speaking, please try to unmute your mic so that it's not causing noise here and there. I hope you understand. Please, you can ask your question in case if there is any. Okay, I'm still waiting in case of question. And then another thing I forgot to mention is the closing of registration. So for now, our registration is going to pen to 20th of this month. So that is when we intend to close the registrations. So someone is raising their hand. You can ask your question, please.
Okay, all right. So, good afternoon, good evening to you all. Yes. So, the question I want to ask is, for those of us who are outside Nigeria, I do recall that last year, a number of people reached out to me. I was able to buy the course successfully, and then was able to get through with my payment. But others were not able to do that quickly. So I wanted to find out if that has been resolved so that it will make things smooth sailing this year as we roll out the course again. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, engineer. Thank you for that. So before I respond, I don't know if there's any other question. You can just ask all the questions and then I give just a one response to everything.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My question is about, if I want to pick and choose some modules from the different package, can we?
Okay, you're asking if we can, we can just select some out of it. Yes, you can.
Exactly.
Yes, you can. You just let me know which one you want and then we can talk it out.
Okay, good. Did you have any, maybe this question is out of subject a little bit. Do you have any lecture about retaining walls?
Yes, I think you've asked me this question before. Like I said, I have, but it's not a full package course. You get, so I
Okay,
have some on YouTube and I also have some, but it's not a course that I'm selling. So
okay,
that's why I cannot say it's a full package something. It's just like a brief overview and explanation on retaining wall. So I will share you, I think I have your details. So I will share you the YouTube link. You can check it out if it is enough for you. If it is not enough for you, then maybe I can also share you the other part that I was talking about. But we don't have
okay,
a
thank you.
full course ready on retaining wall, but I have some patches here and there explaining it and all of that.
Okay, thank you.
So let me answer the first question for payment for people outside Nigeria. Well, I think if you look at the group, we already created we already created this course on Seller. So I believe anyone outside Nigeria can use the platform for their payment. But if you are trying to use it and your payment is not going through, so there are some issues that is not in our capacity. There are some countries that we are unable to receive payment from. So if you are not able to go through your payment using the link that we put out on Seller, you can message me privately and then we can look for other means. I don't know if you get, but for people outside Nigeria, generally, you can use Seller to make your payment, either in West Africa, outside of Africa. So you can use seller for your payment. But if it's not going through, then you can hint me up privately and then we can look for alternatives. I hope that is clear.
Yeah, excellent. I think we're using Flutterwave or something before, but Seller is great. I think we can use Visa payment and all that. So that smoothens out everything. So kudos to your team for doing that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I really appreciate it.
Yes, I have one more question concerning the software package we are using, the Prota structure. Compared with Stat Pro or CDC, can Prota generate the detailing of the elements like beam, slab, etc.?
Yeah, sure. So this is one of the strengths why Prota is very common around us here. So you can generate beam detail, column detail, foundation detail, and also slab. Even though some of these members you might need to make adjustments. For example, the slab, it does not really include distribution bars, so you need to add them. For the columns, it might be somehow, so it's better if you can fine-tune it. For the beams are almost perfect. You just have to adjust the scale and all of that. So, and then for the foundation, the detailing for the foundation is also quite okay. Even though generally we expect as engineers to adjust this design, this detailing. So this is some of the things we covered in the structural design for freelancers. So we explain the design and then we extract the detail. Not only the detail, we extract material quantities like concrete quantities, formwork quantities, calculation sheets, and all of that. And the bar bending schedule as well. So bar bending schedule as well. So the software is really good, especially for reinforced concrete structures. So it gives you good detail. That's one of its major strengths. Okay, I hope I've answered the question. So any other question before we call it a day? Okay, in case if there's no question for now, the group will still be open for us to ask any question anytime. And then once you make your payment, if you're in Nigeria, we have already leave out the account details you can send your payment to directly. All you have to do is just to send your receipt to any of the admins, and then your payment will be confirmed, and then you have access to your course. So that's how it's going to work. So it's quite straightforward. So if you have any further question, you can leave them on the group. I will try as much as possible to respond to them immediately I see or I saw the question. So, and then mind you, this discount is going to be off on the 20th of August. That is in the next roughly 2 weeks. The discount will be off. So it's better if you can get into the class as early as possible. So I really appreciate you guys for joining. I hope to see you all in class. Okay, someone wants to say something, you can proceed.
Okay, so given that in the West African sub-region, most people work for a monthly salary or wages, I have a suggestion to make. Can the promotion be extended to, let's say, the end of the month? That way, it affords more people the opportunity to be able to join. Let's say if somebody wants to be able to, let's say, buy the entire 3 packages or 1 package for that matter, and they can do so. Yeah, I think that will be left to your team to decide.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
There is always possibility of extension, so we look at that. We appreciate your input. Thank you. So if there's no further question, I think we can end the meeting. So if you have any other question, like I said, you can drop it in the group. So thank you guys. Thank you for joining. I really appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Yeah, have a nice day.
Bye.